You gain control of J.K. Rowling's Twitter account for a day. What unnecessary piece of information do you add to Harry Potter lore? Potter Puppet Pals is now canon. Buckbeak is an animagus who is fully intelligent and capable of turning back into a human at any time, but doesn't because it's his fetish. Harry's favorite finger, for no particular reason, is his left index finger. All Hogwarts students are required to take a Happy Fun Time Ed course. The teacher? Hagrid. Make the fan theory that the surviving Weasley twin becomes the Gene Wilder Willy Wonka later in life. Harry wakes up in Hogwarts and everyone is gone for Christmas vacation when he has to defend the school from being robbed by Joe Pesci and Daniel Stern. Edit, Silver. Darn, thanks y'all. D. The composition of the wand means nothing. A wizard could use a plastic drinking straw and it would work just fine, as long as they expect it to work. Snape was a stamp collector. This is the real reason James Potter bullied him. The Sorting Hat was %100 unnecessary for class distribution. Its primary purpose was to get rid of head lice. Ron likes to take all his clothes off when he poops. Completely unnecessary. In #X200B, for a brief time in 1956, teenaged wizards used to bewitch vacuum cleaners to use in lieu of broomsticks. When you're using the invisible cloak, you're not actually invisible, you're naked, they just choose to ignore you as to not make things awkward. Ron grew up to become Ed Sheeran. All of the really bad garbage information, Nagini being a cursed Korean lady, the vanishing garbages, the whole cursed child play, all of that was just a Quibbler article. Oh Zeno Lovegood, you endearing fruitcake. Teenage wizards would jack off in front of the hottest moving paintings. Hogwarts in the 60s was a drug-fueled Technicolor dancing orgy every night, and the only reason it doesn't come up more often is because not a lot of people clearly remember it. Harry put his name in the Goblet of Fire. Voldemort's slongas also have snake-slit noses. Harry and Ron used some of Hermione's hair plus Polyjuice potion to kill some time in the dormitories. Hagrid tried pho and didn't really care for it. That most people don't play beyond their early 20s because they develop Quidditch arsehole. The reason Dumbledore didn't bring back Harry's parents with the Time Turner is because Dumbledore always wanted a son of his own, but then changed his mind a few years later and dumped him at the Dursleys. Harry was born with a third testicle. Fred and George Weasley switched places during the Battle of Hogwarts. When George died, Fred adopted George's life, complete with cutting off his ear, because he figured George wouldn't want him to spoil the joke. There's a witch writer called K.J. Loring famous for her Muggle book series Harold Rogers, where the protagonist engages in wacky Muggle adventures. Edit 48 inbox notices and not one Hogwarts letter. Fred came back as a ghost. Buckbeak was a metaphor. At the time of bringing his kids to platform 9 3/4 at the end of the 7th book, Harry is out on bail for wizard tax evasion due to hiring Percy as his accountant. That the cauldron Voldemort was rebirthed in during Goblet of Fire used to belong to Horace Slughorn. It was gifted to his favorite student, Tom Riddle, the year Riddle left Hogwarts. After Book 2 and the Polyjuice experiments, Ron and Hermione permanently switched places. I double down and declare that some of the older teachers at Hogwarts would forget they were supposed to use toilets now, so occasionally they'd just drop true and urinate in front of everyone. Voldemort doesn't have a butthole after resurrection. Underneath the robe, Professor McGonagall is actually two twin dwarfs standing on each other's shoulders. They take turns being on top so the other doesn't get tired. Harry pronounces it GIF, not GIF. The Loch Ness Monster is someone who tried Polyjuice potion with basilisk DNA. Twilight is absolutely in the same universe. I would 100% post that meme. J.K. Rowling reveals that you, the reader, were gay all along, but besides that, I would talk about the required procedure behind the pre-plumbing garbageting wherever you want then making it disappear thing. Also, WTF JKR? Why couldn't they have had magical outhouses? Why did it have to get weird? Hagrid was a metaphor for the misunderstanding and mistreatment of furries. The My Immortal fanfic is now 100% canon, thank you, J.K.R. In order to have the feast so lovingly described, House Elves of Hogwarts had perfected the art of reusing leftovers multiple times. They secretly go to cheap restaurants and learn from muggles. Recently they discovered internet, and now Dean Thomas's mother prints out for them every tip and trick she can find at Frugal Living blogs. Muggle orphanages know about magic, and when an orphan shows magical prowess they phone the Ministry of Magic for pickup and leave the baby outside. The ministry hasn't figured out how voicemail works and never come to pick up the children. I don't think I could top the post she made about wizards disappearing their poo with magic before Muggles invented toilets. Harry doesn't have a left pinky toe, it was the only part of him hurt by the killing curse when he was a baby, and then all of us fan theorists will wonder why Lily didn't love his left pinky toe. Moaning Myrtle was masturbating in the bathroom when she dies, hence the name, Moaning Myrtle. She was reported as crying based on what an ignorant first-year claimed. George Weasley was adopted. Not Fred though. I'd clarify that Dumbledore wasn't really gay, just gay for pay. Figure that way, nobody is happy. I'm writing a new book, I'll make her add a lot more lore by bumping community expectations. The protagonist was actually the flying car and everything after is just epilogue. Hermione dresses up as a cat girl for Ron, who developed a thing for it before they were dating. Hermione was actually a collective delusion shared by Harry and Ron. I actually always envisioned Dumbledore aggressively asking Harry, maybe even yelling, if he put his name in the Goblet of Fire. There is a Wizarding World version of Magic, The Gathering called Muggles, The Congregation. Edit. Thanks for the gold, kind stranger. Hagrid's dog Fluffy and Mrs. Norris were lovers. Professor Snape was a single mother. Neville Longbottom has a 30.5 cm cock. Voldemort's parents were anti-vax. The sock that freed Dobby was actually a Potter family heirloom, having been worn by Bobby Charlton in the 1966 FIFA World Cup final. The Potters were very quiet about how they came to acquire it. Harry frequently entered the girls' dormitory. Dudley Dursley has a Muggle-born daughter. She gets her Hogwarts letter and Dudley reconnects with Harry so he can learn about magic and be the opposite of his parents. Ron is adopted and dyes his hair. Edit. Thanks for the gold, kind stranger. That the Queen of England is a living Horcrux and that's why she just won't die. Edit. Ooh, shiny, thanks. How Hermione really loved pegging Ron after they got married. Snape was a never nude. Edit. Holy garbage, this blew up. Thank you for the gilding. Voldemort was voluntarily circumcised at the age of 18. The goblins at Gringotts don't have children, they just randomly split one day during a mitosis-like process and then go about their days. Their suits are part of this process. My amazing so. Nobody gives a fluff about Harry after he graduates, and he ends up spending the rest of his life bitter and working as a barista at Wizard Starbucks in Hogsmeade. Ron and Hermione's safe word is Mudblood. Ada, and now my most voted comment is about wizards fluffing. Time to put on my robe and wizard hat and start writing fanfic, I guess. I would make it clear that the cursed child is not canon. Dobby's butt has the same properties as a bag of holding and can expand to accommodate any object no matter the girth. Hermione has been secretly hoarding corn, yes, as in corn on the cob, in her room since she was very young. Even after she left for Hogwarts, she continued to hoard corn in her dorm. She never speaks about it, she just quietly collects the vegetable as if it's second nature. One day, Harry and Ron discovered her corn stash. Since then, they frequently ask her about why she collects corn, but she pretends she never heard that and keeps talking to them about the things they were previously discussing. That the Hufflepuff common room had an orgy pit. The Forbidden Forest is forbidden because Dumbledore and Hagrid have an illegal grow-op hidden inside. The Wizarding School is a front to launder money. Fun HP fact, Ron's feet squeak like clown's feet wherever he walks, it echoes in the halls of Hogwarts. Draco Malfoy is a werewolf. It's already true, but I'd end the debate. Harry was Oregonla supposed to be Latino. Harry became a Minecraft Let's Player after he left Hogwarts. Rita Skeeter wrote The Cursed Child. The Whomping Willow was gated, my first gold. Thank you so much. In the late 90s, an American wizard decided to invent padded grips that a witch or wizard could slip onto their wand for personal preference and a better handle on casting their spells. The product was called a Woody, and Arthur Weasley, with his extensive interest in Muggle items and lingo, was the only one who seemed to find it hilarious. The Weasley family car is actually related to Lightning McQueen and Herbie. Hagrid shaves all his body hair from the neck down. Thanks for the gold, you, Darthmule. Harry's great-grandfather is Mexican. After learning the fact that witches and wizards used to garbage on the spot, I don't think there's any more unnecessary info to be added. Lol. Buckbeak eats chicken Alfredo once a week. I'd give Harry another son and name them Remus Rubius so that Lupin and Hagrid got fluffing acknowledgement for having an affect on Harry throughout his life. Ron Weasley has the longest slong of the Weasley boys, but not the girthiest. Luna Lovegood's husband dies in a Crumple-Horn Snorkek-related accident and she remarries Neville Longbottom. They have 2 children together and have a happy, blended family while Neville goes on to become one of the most renowned herbologists in Hogwarts history, using Luna's talents for hunting the unknown and Neville's unparalleled bravery to find new species of plants that help cure Alzheimer's and other memory-related issues. They die in Peru at the ripe age of 102 and 99 respectively, in a whomping mangrove accident.